Good morning, folks. It's been a while since I've done a video, but I'm getting quite a few questions where I've been. So anyway, today is last Sunday of January. I don't know what the date is, but I thought I'd just start here with the Blaze King, because over the last few weeks I've seen quite a few videos on those. So the first thing I want to start off with is the stovepipe, and I hope you can see it, but right here, if you look hard, you'll see a seam, and there's screws right here that hold the stovepipe in. And what happens is, this is what I do, because my roof is pretty steep and I can't walk on it, but what I'll do is I have a band up there at the ceiling that goes around that, against that box, and I take that band loose and I take those screws out of that seam right there about in the middle of your screen, and then this whole piece will slide down onto here. It only has to slide down about that much and it'll clear. And what I do is, it's a little messy, but not bad. I get a cardboard box, a big one, and I set it here and get that sitting in the cardboard box and get that taken outside. And then this is done in the summertime, and I did a video on this, and someplace I lost it. But then what I'll do is I'll put my brush just up in the beginning up there, right where it goes through the ceiling. And I'll have just a rod like this that I'll put up there, and that'll be the other end. And what I do is I'll stick that in up here with a brush, and the brush will hold it. So once I get it in there, then I take me a garbage bag and I put it up there, and just to the side I poke a hole with that rod so that that garbage bag is up there, and then I duct tape it around the top up here. I get a little ladder and I'll duct tape it right around there, around the ledge, and that'll hold it. And then I'll take the rod, and of course I push it up in the pipe, and as I push it up in the pipe, everything comes down, it falls into that plastic bag. Now I've got 3 rods here, so it's 3 rods to my roof. Okay, so 3 sections, and my brush comes out up at my roof. Okay, so you do that for probably 6 or 7 strokes until you hear stuff quitting to fall into that bag. Then I'll take the bag down, and folks, I really don't get any fallout from that. And I'll pull the brush down, I'll put the brush in the bag, and then I haul it all outside. I might get a little bit on the floor, but I mean, it's nothing that a vacuum cleaner can't pick up. And then that gives you access to your stove here. And with this is open, you can go in the top and you can clean all your ashes out and whatever you got for soot that's fallen, and you can get all that cleaned out. And I clean everything up and adjust. There's a screw in there that you can adjust your damper to how tight it is. And so I get that all adjusted. And then it's just a simple reversal process of putting it back together. Now, because of where I live, I do have an extra stovepipe there. I keep that in stock. Most stuff for the stove, the parts, I keep in stock. So I'll go over that here in a little bit. So I get that all put back together, and shovel the ash pit out, and everything's good to go. Now, when I say I carry most of my parts in stock, I will carry my catalytic converter. That goes on the inside up here. I got that in stock. I've got a whole new thermostat assembly in stock here. I've got another door in stock. And I carry the gaskets for the door. Now, you're going to notice that that's a cast iron door on there. And I do have a glass door. And a glass door is going to be, that's what it comes with. And that's going to be kind of if you want to watch the flames. But to be honest with you, I don't have flames in this. Because if I have flames, it's going to get really hot in here. So the other thing is if that glass, if a log ever rolled against it when it's hot and broke the glass, that's never going to happen, folks, unless it's cold out. Cold to me is 40, 50 below. So what I did was I took that off and I got this metal door. No, you can't see the flame, and quite honestly, after about 20 years, it doesn't bother me not to see the flame at all. But you don't have to do anything. Now, as far as in 20 years is about how long I've had this stove, what have I done to it for maintenance? The initial catalytic converter that came with it, they had an issue with, and in about 2 years, maybe 3 years, I had to replace it. And they replaced that free of charge. However, in the books and stuff, it'll say you can take those out and clean them. Folks, if you're going to take one out, just plan on throwing it away, because trying to get it out of there in one piece and back in is almost impossible after it's been burned. Now, as far as how much wood do I burn, I am not burning that much wood. Let me get you around here, and I'll get you down here. To where you can, I'll open the stove up for you, to where you can kind of see what it's going to look like in there. So there is what I'm running for wood right now. Okay, you'll see that I've got a log here and a log right there, and got another one that was too long, so I'll pull him over. So that's all I got. At nighttime I'll put one stick on the top of there, and that, ladies and gentlemen, will burn me for at least 12 hours. The weather we've been having now has been in the teens. I'll stack one log on there, and seriously, I'm getting 24 to 36 hours of burn. This is out of spruce. It's not out of birch. This is all spruce. And spruce does not burn as well as birch does. And so that's my stove. You can see what the gasket on the door is right over here. And your definition for if that door is tight enough is you put a dollar bill in here. That's what I use anyway. And you shut the door and clamp it. And if you can't pull the dollar bill out, you're good to go. If you can pull it out, you want to tighten it up. This little latch right here, you can turn it in to get it tighter and tighter until you have to replace this gasket. This gasket I do have in stock. And so that's just the way I do things, as y'all are getting to know. So that's the Blaze King, folks. This is a King Classic. It's rated for I believe about 1,900 to 2,000 square feet. This house is nowhere near that big. I guess I'm probably doing about 1,100 square feet. And however, when I purchased the stove, and this is my thought, they tried to sell me a Princess, and I said no. I wanted a big stove because I can always build a small fire for when it's warm. But we get here like we were at Christmas time where we hit 60, 70 below. If you have a Princess, you can only put so much wood in that little guy. And so when it hits 50, 60 below, that thing gets filled up. And even at that point, you got to run her open a little bit. But when my mom was alive here, I was able to hold the house at about 80 to 85. She had heart problems and was cold all the time. And so my dad was the same way. So when I took care of her, I said, you're not going to be cold in Alaska. And so to give you all a little chuckle, stove was running wide open, the windows were wide open upstairs to keep me cool. But that is a 12-hour burn time. If that's totally loaded, running open, and 50, 60 below zero, you will get at least a 12-hour burn time out of it. Now, the other thing that's going to come up is going to be, well, how much wood do you burn? And so, let me bring you over here, and I'm going to bring you over here so you can see. That cart, ladies and gentlemen, up to the top of that shelf will run me a week to a week and a half, okay? And you can see the wood there, okay? Now, it's got wheels on it. Years ago, I used to wheel it out the door and bring it back in, but right now, I'm no longer strong enough to be able to pull it up over the doorstep. So, let me, I'm going to flip you around here and show you how my wood is, how I keep it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to come this way and we're going to do a 180 degree turn. And there's where my wood is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, that wood pile you have there is going to be good for about 2 weeks, because that one row, pretty much up to about the top of the window there, that will last me a month. Okay, so let's go out here just a little bit, and I'm going to take you outside here since it's warm today. All right, we got this wood pile here. Okay, that's 8 foot long. And the wood pile you see here, that's enough for a month to 6 weeks. Now, if you're wondering, this little, that's my wood hauler right there. It's garbage right now. But that was full of wood, kind of up to bottom or top of the tarp there, right up to about right there. That was good. That was 3 rows. I started out there back in September. So that's what I burned. I burned that full of September, and I burned 2 rows off of here, and then I had inside the door there, I had that full. Okay, so now I'll finish this. That'll get me through probably till March. The wood here you see sitting right here, that's 2 rows deep in there, I think. That'll take me through into April. So at April, then it's getting warm to where, oh my gosh, 1 row like this would last me probably 2 or 3 months. So that's just kind of it on the stove, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, I'm going to shut it down. I welcome any comments or questions you may have, because a lot of people, they're running some of these stoves aren't catalytic, and they're saying, gosh, we got to feed it every couple hours. If you have a catalytic stove, you don't have to. So I'm going to cut this off, and I'll bring it back in a minute when I get inside. Okay, now in the basement of my water pump, I really haven't done much with that. I got to get busy on that. Airplane, I've been waiting on parts. I got one part that I ordered from Amazon for 3 times now. Finally got 2 of them in, so I got to send one back. And so that's what's going on in the basement. I did put some shelves up down there yesterday. And one is going to be for my seed starts. And the other one's going to be kind of for storage for canned goods and stuff. And so that's kind of where I'm at there. On another note, and this is for people that know me here in Alaska, I did get a half a beef yesterday. And I got it, the half a beef, dressed at a half at 325 pounds, and all costs said and done into my freezer was $6.35 a pound, I think, which sounds exorbitant, and it is to me because I know ranchers don't get that. But if you go to town and I looked at Costco the other day, and when I was in there, $14 a pound for meat. And didn't matter, if you're looking at any kind of steaks or whatever. This $6 a pound, $6.35 a pound, that's for T-bones, that's for hamburger or whatever. And they will cut it to how you want it. I was called by the locker plant, and they asked me how I wanted it cut, and I'm not particular in that. The people that own it are from Nebraska, from the farming and ranching community there in eastern Nebraska, and they've had this locker plant. They started it up. They've had it now for about 30 years. They know what they're doing with the meat. So I just said just how you guys do it is just fine with me. But you could request if you wanted London broils, or if you wanted prime rib. However, you could request the cut you want. It may cost a little more to get it all cut up the way you want. I don't know. They do have a price sheet out. I think it was $1 a pound for cutting and wrapping, and then it was $100. Well, it was $140 to butcher, and I had half of that, so I had $70 for half. So that's the status on that. So if there's somebody here that's watching this in Alaska, now the locker plant does have, it's a 2-year wait list right now. Okay, there are ways around that. So there's a couple ways you can do it. The best thing is contact Jeannie over there, and there are other ranchers here that raise cattle. These cattle are all pretty much grass-fed, grass-finished. For those of you that don't know, a grass-finished critter is a very lean meat. If you like a little bit of marbling in your steaks, like for your grill and everything, then you want a grain-finished critter. So that's just a little information for you from a kid that grew on a ranch. And then the other thing, I haven't been doing much this winter. I've been having a little bit of heart problems, and had to wear a heart monitor here for a week, so I'll find out about that on Tuesday. And then my back has been giving me issues, so I have an MRI scheduled here next week on my back, and that is looking like surgery. So if I have surgery on my back, granted the cardiologist gives me clearance, I'm sure that's going to put a hold on my summer projects. I don't know. I will give you all a little token bit of advice. I'm sure maybe many of you know that, but I talked to my main family doctor that I've been using for years and years and years, and I told her about my back at Christmas time. No reaction, just blew right on through what I asked or what I told her. Because I've been, ladies and gentlemen, when I'm working out here and you see me moving, I'm popping ibuprofen like they're candy, you know, maybe 6 at a time. And so a physician's assistant that I had here in Delta probably 10, 11, 12 years ago, he went to the Army. And he just got out here a while back, and he's at the same place in Fairbanks. So I got a hold of him, had an appointment with him here last week, and explained my situation about my back. Now, he's a little privy because when he was here before and they did x-rays on my back, they knew it was screwed up. And so as soon as I complained about my back, he was on the phone. MRIs, x-rays, and a specialist. So no wasting time. He says, no, he said, you're having those issues. And what I'm having, ladies and gentlemen, is I get paralysis in my left leg. And when I'm out here working in the summertime and chainsaw stuff, I usually will fall 2 or 3 times a day. Last year was several times with a running chainsaw, which I'm not real comfortable with. So that's just a little inclination why I haven't been doing much. We haven't got a lot of snow, so I haven't been doing much snow plowing this year. So as things pick up, I'll be doing more videos, folks. But if you got any questions or you want to see a video on a particular subject, please feel free to make a comment and ask, and I'll sure do what I can do to help you out. And on another note, I don't when I watch the videos, I watch at a totally different aspect, because my whole life has been mechanic. It's been maintenance. I grew up ranching, farming. So I see people doing things, and I'm going to refrain from this, folks, because seems like maybe I'm a little overbearing, but I can see people making mistakes or errors in what they're trying to do. And it's not being snobbish or trying to be stuck up. It's because I probably made the same mistakes. So if I say something, it's because I made the same mistake at some point in time in my life. So anyway, folks, with that, I'll shut this down. And to my friends in Arizona, I'll be getting you a letter out. And I got your letter yesterday, so I'll see if I can get it written today and in the mail tomorrow. And to my friend in El Paso, he's a high school buddy of mine, football player buddy of mine, actually 2nd grade buddy. Hope everything's going well. I'm seeing a lot in the news about El Paso. Not all that comforting. And for the rest of you that don't realize, when I used to turn wrenches, I used to go into El Paso a lot and down into Mexico. So I feel for him and where he's at. I don't know what it's like down there, but I can only imagine. So anyway, folks, I want to wish you all a good day, a good week, and God bless, and you take care. Bye-bye.